The term military analyst is not a legally protected term. It's not like doctor. It's more like economist. You know, any asshole can start calling themselves one and fart out a vaguely plausible opinion on the current situation.
Oh, look, the internet's not doing well. We'll just cut out the video because that's what I love doing. Well, white people are going to save America. We're here in South Dakota and they can't get the internet right. Just try and get your car fixed in Wyoming or South Dakota. You let me know. You let me know. All right, we have requested. If you have requests, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com. Why the world's only professional asshole will answer your questions for money. Why would you do that? Because I'm a, say it with me, healer. Hi, Cappy Greens from Down Under, where we are descending further into a communist shithole. We've just recently reelected the left-hard Labor government. What was Howard? Not Ron Howard. John Howard? Was that the guy when things were great? Him and Stephen Harper. Remember those times? We just elected Labour government who have instituted unrealized capital gains on superannuation, which is their version of Social Security down in Australia. Now, currently, this is only on balances over $3 million, but as we all know, this is the start. Well, not just for the income limit, because if they're going to tax unrealized capital gains on your superannuation or your Social Security or your 401k balance, I should say. That's more what it's like. So a 401k balance. Why not the houses? Why not forget your superannuation? What about a regular brokerage account? I'm surprised they went after your superannuation. I thought they go after regular brokerage accounts first and then housing of rich people later. Now, currently, this is only on balances over 3 million. As we know, this is the start. Oh, and the rules don't apply to politicians or judges. Fuck me dead. Man, your women just hate you people. All right. And if I look up who voted, right, they just hate the Australian people and they just love the government. As long as they feel good. Would love your economic analysis on the effects of unrealized capital gains can have on an economy because our treasurer has no idea. Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. And that's why, if you don't know who that lady is, that's obviously Photoshop. The thumbnail is a politician we have here called Elizabeth Warren. I believe she was a professor. She's the classic stupid liberal white woman. The classic Karen. Privileged, pampered, little rich bitch who never fucking worked a day in life. And she knows, I mean, even Mark Cuban knew unrealized capital gains was a bad deal. And he's a Democrat. He said, hey, there were some Democrats probably within economic departments in the United States. This is a bad idea. You don't want to do it. And so it shows you how dumb you have to be. But she was for it. And the reason she has the not Italian garb, the Indian garb is because she claimed to be like 1/5 quarter of a Native American blood. I'm actually American Indian. No, you aren't. You're really not. And that's why we call her Pocahontas. And is it Massachusetts? Is that where the really stupid people live? You keep voting her in. Remember Ted Kennedy, the murderer? Wasn't it Ted? Was that Bobby? Man, you guys just elect some trash. Oh, anyway, so she recommended it because she's an idiot. And even we had the sense not to do that. But what I want to do is I want to see if I could answer using, because at one time I was an economist. Like, can I remember the cost and consequences of unrealized capital gains tax? So I tried to do it on my own. Then I looked it on the internet and I'm like, hey, look, I got them all. So let's explain first what unrealized capital gains tax is. Let's say you buy some stock in Ford Motor Corporation through your IRA or your 401k, or in the Australians' cases, their superannuation, right? This is your retirement account. You put money into your retirement account. It's just a brokerage account that's designated as a retirement account. You give some kind of tax benefit, but you still invest in the same stocks, bonds, and mutual funds as you would if it was a regular brokerage account. It's just that you get a tax deduction. That's it. That's all it is. And so you buy a share, a share. How I would do this? You buy some Ford stock. The price is $10 a share when you buy it. And over time, it goes up to $40. Now, have you actually made any money on your Ford stock? And even though you bought it 10 and it went up to 40, you realize, no, I did not make any profit because you have yet to sell it. But if you were to sell it at $40 a share, you would have a capital gain or you will have realized a capital gain of $30 per share. Okay. So you paid 10, several years go by, it's up to 40. You sell your share of Ford. Now you got a $30 profit, which is also in this case called a capital gain. Meaning your capital, your original $10 investment gained $30. It is now 40. We tax capital gains, realized capital gains, meaning you sold it here in the United States. And I believe there's short and long-term capital gains tax rates. The reason they do long-term so you hold on to your investments longer. Short-term is to incentivize you to hold on to them longer. I don't know why they do that. I just want more money. But when they created capital gains tax, they realized there had to be a capital gain, meaning you sold your share because then you'd have the money to pay the taxes on that capital gain, right? Say, well, your share went up 40. Yeah, but I didn't sell it. Well, we want to tax you. Well, I don't have the money. If I sell my shares, then I'll have money. Then I'll have a capital gain. Then I'll pay the capital gains tax. But I haven't sold it yet. And unrealized capital gain says, we don't give a fuck if you sold it or not. We don't give a fuck if you got the money. Your share of Ford Motor Corporation went from 10 to 40. And oh, you haven't sold it. We don't care whether you got money for it or not. We're going to tax that $30 gain at whatever rate. And that is called an unrealized capital gains tax because you've had a capital gains. You have not yet sold it. So it has not been realized. It is unrealized. And they're going to tax you on that. And you could say, wait a minute. What if the stock goes down? Do I get my money back? Probably not. Are we going to check every year to see what happened to my capital gains? Like, are we going to do all capital gains from when I invested in the stock in 1987 to now? And then every year I got to fill this out. I'm sure the Australian government has made it as complicated as possible. Whatever you guys do, whatever you Western nations do, whatever you do, don't get rid of all your taxes and consolidate into one sales tax so it'd be easy for everyone to pay. Don't do that. Just don't do that. So they're going to make it probably every year. If your stocks went up by, if they went up, period, you got to pay a tax on the gain, whether you sold and realized the profit from it or not. And I'm almost going to guarantee you that if it goes down, they're not getting their money back. Because what could happen, it goes up 20%. You have to pay an income tax on that 20%. Or I'm sorry, you have to pay a capital gains, unrealized capital gains tax on that 20% increase. Then it drops to 40. Do you get money back? No, you don't. And then at the bottom at 40, then it goes up another 15, say the third year. Guess what? You get to pay taxes on it. Say, but I've lost. I'm down. I'm out on this. They don't care. I'm going to say it again because this is what it is. These are parasites trying to live off of the producers. That's all it is. And they're starting to run out of money. The income, I don't know what your government spending to GDP is, but that's your tax rate. I'm going to imagine Australia, it's around 42. Well, let's just look it up. This is when you can't find any more money and you start doing shit that really hurts your economy. So let's take a look. Australia total government spending to GDP, because you got to do state, federal, and local. Oh, 37%. You guys are at our wait. Oh, a high of 44 in 2020, low of 32, 1997. It's down 1% from 2024. All right. So you're about the same tax rate as we are, and you're going to tax unrealized capital gains. Really? At this point, just printing off more money is a better deal. Because at least that just causes general inflation for everybody. It doesn't fuck with your capital markets. It doesn't fuck over investing and cost you economic growth, which is what I'm going to get to. I thought you guys would have been higher given all the social laws and policies you've passed. So that's basically an unrealized capital gains. Now, already you can intuitively find out that there's something wrong with it. Like, well, wait, what if I forget 3 million or not? Okay. I know you don't think rich people are human beings, but they are. But let's say we go back to the simple Ford, you bought one share at 10, now it's worth 40. And the government comes up to you, Pocahontas comes up to you and says, I want you to pay whatever, 5% on that $30 gain. And you're some kid, you're like, well, I don't have the 5% on the $30 gain. Well, guess what you got to do now? Well, you either got to go borrow money to pay taxes on a stock you haven't converted back into cash. Or what do you got to do? That's right. You're going to have to liquidate your stock or your mutual fund or your bonds or the real estate investment trust or whatever. So what are the costs and consequences of it? There's really no upside to this. Yeah, it increases government revenue for 1 year. And then people change their behavior and surprise, there's a lot less capital gains. I guess the parasites of your nation get more money, right? The judges and the politicians don't have to pay anything, right? So those parasites, they don't have to pay anything. So, I mean, you're talking total good. Yeah, some people are going to get more free money because that's the way we made everything great in the world. But aside from parasites and thieves getting more money for 1 year, you get to do this once and then see what happens to government revenues. Like Minneapolis is kicking around an income tax, a local municipal income tax. Like, yeah, okay, go ahead, do it. It's, what was it? San Francisco, LA with the $30 an hour minimum wage. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You want to sleep with someone who's got an STD? That's okay. I'm not going to stop you. You wouldn't listen anyway. So here are the consequences. Okay, first, I'm going to read this verbatim. First, it scares the real money out of the market. And by real money in your individual case, but other people, if you had a $3 million limit or not, the real money are wealthy people. And this one targets wealthy people. And it's going to scare you. What do you think rich people are going to invest much as they used to into the stock market? And with less money going into the stock market, I'm going to read this very carefully. Stocks will have downward pressure on prices, right? The prices could still go up. There could be a booming economy. I don't know. There could be inflation, right? Let's print off more didgeridoo dollars. All right. Let's print off. No, Kiwi is a New Zealander. So, I have to say, as wealthy people who, by the way, own the majority of shares and by volume, start taking their money and putting it elsewhere, that will put downward pressure on prices and the value of your superannuation fund, or in American words, that would be your 401k or IRA. Your retirement balance will go down in value. But I'm not making $3 billion. Doesn't matter. Rich people are not investing in the market anymore, and now they have to liquidate their investments to cover the taxes on it. You are selling shares, that puts downward pressure on it. Prices will probably likely go down. Second, consequently, this dries up money for new IPO businesses. I'm presuming most of your superannuation is invested in publicly traded stocks. And so this is not necessarily bad. People are just not going to, if I'm going to start a business, I'm not creating a publicly traded firm. But you can get a lot more capital cheaper. You can raise billions. No, not anymore. But what about all the people that, think about it. I'll give you an example. I think isn't Intel trying to create a semiconductor plant? We're talking billions of dollars. So Intel would issue $2 billion worth of shares so that they could go build a plant. That's hard to do if you're a private small company. But if there isn't if I'm going to be taxed on my unrealized capital gains, if I were to invest in Intel, I'm going to be more reluctant to buy the new stock issuance of Intel to build the facility. And so publicly invested firms are going to raise less capital to invest in what are typically larger investment projects that would have larger amounts of people that they would employ. So the money will go to the private markets where it's not a publicly traded firm. You can get $2 billion trade deals going on, or investment deals. I mean, it can happen, but you've definitely lessened the appeal of the largest market for businesses to go and raise money that would therefore employ people and increase economic growth and your actual tax base. By the way, if number go up, that don't mean there's in stock price. That doesn't mean there was more jobs or more production. That's just moving electronic numbers from one account to the government's account. That's all that happened there. So you might see an uptick in private investment or companies preferring to invest in private firms, not going public, and in drying up the money that would put, again, downward pressure on everyone's superannuation balance. Third, because wealthy people own the majority of the stock, this puts downward pressure on prices as the value of the stock goes down because A, they have to liquidate it to pay the taxes, right? Oh, I got this tax. I mean, I don't know what the tax rate's going to be. Not enough, right? This is your last hit of free people's money, right? Parasites of Australia. This is your last shot of booze, right? You're never going to take government money ever again. You're all going to go and work hard and become independent people, right? No, you just want more. So going forward in the future, more and more wealthy people are going to have to liquidate their shares to pay the taxes. And B, less future money will go into the market, costing future price increases, right? Beforehand, I wasn't going to be taxed on my unrealized capital gains, which is such a detestable idea. Like if you said, oh, we're going to tax on unrealized capital gains. Oh, fuck you. I'm not investing. I'm sorry. So it's ridiculous on its face. And it just shows like, yeah, you can't trust these people whatsoever. But normally, if that wasn't there, yeah, I would throw whatever. Individually, cumulatively, trillions of dollars. Each individual, maybe not Australia, a smaller economy. But globally, multiple trillions of dollars. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to invest in that. And you say, we're going to tax your unrealized capital gains. Oh, you mean when I sell it, I pay a capital? No, if it just goes up, we're taxing you. Fuck you. I guess I'm not investing then. I know you parasites in the Labour Party with your programmies. And here we have the Democrat Party. I know you parasites hate this, but you are so desperately dependent on us producers. It is a host-parasite relationship. And you are so dumb and so blind by envy. You just got to punish the productive people and the wealthy people to the point they're going to stop producing wealth. I mean, you really are leeches. You have a leech doesn't know, if I suck out too much blood, this fish host is going to die. You guys are no smarter than leeches. If you had some intelligence, you realize, well, we ought to be sending you guys thank you cards for working and producing so much. You don't see it that way because those rat bastards have more than you because of whatever bullshit reasons you guys come up. Privilege, the patriarchy. I'm sure it's the same shit here. But you get to do it once, and then you scare all the investment away. And then I will bet my left nut if this goes into effect and you don't change rates. Their first year will be the most gains they have, and the subsequent years will be nothing unless there's inflation, which could cause actually quite a wealth redistribution, but that's a different discussion. So you were in the future going to have a certain amount of money enter the market, which would put upward pressure. I can't say put prices up, but it would put upward pressure. And all the consequential price increases that were going to happen into the future are now gone because you've scared the investment money away. So short version, your superannuation, aka Americans 401k, aka IRA, aka Canadians RRSP program, aka the British Tooth Fund, your gains are going to be less than what they were going into the future. 4, generally a negative sign for any investor, public or not, foreign or not, whether you're investing in a public company or you're a private investor, and whether you're a domestic investor or a foreign. What you think? What New Zealand or any wealthy investor, the Asians, the Chinese, the anyone. So wait, you're telling me that if I invest in any, well, I guess the foreign investors would not invest in your superannuation. So foreign investors and corporations don't pay a tax. It's you people are going to pay a tax on your retirement fund. But let's say generally you do tax all people's unrealized capital gains. And there's an indication that you would, like down the road, you would. Like, this is a bad sign. This is a bad sign because, yeah, you're right, buddy. They're going to expand what they're going to tax. They're going to lower that wealth limit and they're going to increase the rate. And it's you haven't even made a profit. You have yet to sell it. This is already a bad deal. And even though as of yet, they're not taxing investors, like if you're going to start a company, foreign investor, wealth funds, sovereign wealth funds, people are going to look at it and say, so you might just pass an unrealized capital gains tax law for foreign investors, or I could just go pretty much anywhere else in the world and not deal with this shit. Like, let me look up Brazil. I mean, we solid second world country. Does Brazil have unrealized capital gains tax? Of course, it's AI. I don't know if it. No, Brazil does not have that. Okay, Mom. Okay. Withholding tax for unrealized. Oh, here it says that they might. This is Ernst & Young. Brazil's proposal to tax. Oh, their proposal. Third alternative is a tax on including unrealized capital gains. So Brazil was flirting with it. I was gonna look, the Brazilians aren't even doing this, and they voted Lula in twice. They're crazy people. Even they're sane enough not to do this, but apparently not. But there are many other places people will go to invest. Look, me personally, if I saw someone, we're going to do unrealized capital gains, I'm never investing with you, whether that's a company or a world or a government or whatever. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not investing. Where'd my notes go? So yeah, you've basically undermined trust in your markets, and consequently, it's going to cause capital flight because not only do people not want to invest in your company or your country, people within your country, you're going to be like, forget this. Well, where else are they going to invest their superannuation? Yeah, I mean your entrepreneurs, which I know you guys don't think you need, and you hate them because they're smarter and faster and work harder than you parasites. But the people are going to look like, well, why would I set up a company here? Yeah, right now they're just taxing super wealthy people on unrealized capital gains. But what about me if I do happen to become super wealthy? I'm not going to lay down the infrastructure here. I'm going to go overseas to the United States where we don't have one. Or Canada. Have you guys got one yet? What is it? Isn't it the Anzac, like the 5 former British colonies? Like, you guys just hate yourselves so much. It's like, I can't wait to tax ourselves some more. Any industrious person in your country who might actually, what you think where did Elon Musk set up his company? South Africa? Where's the food? Where's the electricity, by the way? So you will have capital flight. And then 5, to not even the brightest economists in the world, right? Even Democrat government economists knew that when what's her name? Elizabeth Warren, the Canute, right? Recommended, they're like, no, this is a bad idea. Don't do that. I think it was under Biden, maybe. Because I don't think it was that long ago. And even Mark Cuban, like, yeah, you don't want to do that, guys. You don't want to do that. Here, take all my income, but don't take capital gains. Don't do the capital gains, unrealized capital gains. It shows ineptitude, inefficiency, and it erodes trust in just the overall competency of your government. We're talking something as dumb as printing off more money. and actually thinking that's going to solve the problem. When I see this, it, you're looking at people who have lost it's like watching California government. Their policies are bad for their people, even the Democrat ones. I would not say unrealized capital gains is as bad as the San Francisco law that made it legal for people to steal up to $900 without being arrested or prosecuted. That is literally the dumbest law I've ever heard of in my life. And even San Franciscans, America's truly dumbest people in the world or in the country, even they realized that was bad enough and they rescinded it. They reversed it. I don't know who's going to come and live in your shit street. Right? Is shitting in the street still? Do you guys all like applaud them? Do you have street shitting days? Do you applaud all the bombs and all the women sleep with the criminals and the scumbags, right? Because it's just, oh my God, I love criminal scumbags. That's what I vote for. I'm a Democrat. Right? You girls, that's how you reward the street shitters. That's still legal, right? You got ways to go before anyone's investing in San Francisco again. But where you made it legal to steal, that's about one of the handful of few real world policies I've seen that is actually worse than unrealized capital gains tax. Because it is that dumb. And if you have a government instituting that, they are making other horrible decisions that any producer, any investor, any worker, anyone who just wants to be a contributing member to society, you want to stay away from that. You really want to stay away from that. And I know the Labour, which is just the parasite party spelled with a fancy European twist. I know the Labour party is parasitic. I know you guys don't care. I know if I looked at the Labor Party and the leadership, none of them have real jobs. They're all modern day trust fund, baby. The irony, like the Democrat Party, that was the Labor Party here because we spelled it correctly. It's the trust fund party. If you look at all the Democrats, they're all trust fund babies who never worked. It's the same thing with the Labour program party over in Australia with their programmies in Melbourne, or Melbourne, and Perth bin and Sydney bin. What other bins they got? Canberra bin? Canberra? Is that not Canberra? I think Canterbury Downs. That's what I'm thinking. Why can't I remember the name? Anyway, all the bins with your programmies of the Labour government, they're all trust fund kids. They don't care about workers. They don't care. They are very incompetent. I used to do sovereign risk analysis back in Pacific Rim countries, actually. And just looking at that, I'd be like, no, no, invest there. No. Not only because it's a bad financial deal, but the people who are in charge are dumb. And they're implementing a policy that is very bad for the economy. And that's ultimately what's going to happen. Look, you want jobs? You're going to have to make it easier for investors and entrepreneurs to come there and create jobs. But you're going to take all their capital gains away from them, and they haven't even sold it yet. They don't even have the money to pay for it. Well, here's another thing. I don't know, but maybe rich people, and I don't mean trust funders like people who work in the Labour Party. I mean the people who work for it and hustle. Do you think they got time for this shit? Now they got to go. Now we got compliance costs, which is the minor but sixth problem with this. Now they got to go back and figure out what their cost basis is. They got to hire more accountants. Say, or you know what? Maybe they just go to Singapore, or they go to Indonesia, or they go to some other place that, okay, fine, maybe there's a little bit of crime or whatever, but man, I'll tell you this, any country who's a second world looking to get up and at them, just streamline your taxes, right? Western nations' taxes are like the fat, ugly, STD infected with visible sores all over her body, who's got lip and attitude and 3 other guys' kids in tow, demanding you got to pay her and give her the princess treatment. All you have to do is be the thin, hot chick, not even hot, just the thin, nice chick who's not infested with STDs, and you will get a lot of capital investment. You will get a lot of investors to flood your economy with money. It's real simple. It's not hard. Wish you guys do that. You see how Dubai kind of? You see what they did in the middle of the desert? See what Singapore did? It's just an island. Take a look at that. But yeah, so only idiots would implement this. And for anyone with the slightest bit of business entrepreneurial and investment acumen, they're going to avoid this. They just are. So there you go. There are the drawbacks. Let's go to super chats. Dude, the chicken's $2. Tell that to the motherfuckers calculating my property tax. Yeah, well, other people's children have to be paid for with their very quality education. Nothing's too good for the children, sir. Ken Rose, he says hi for $2. Oh my God. I'm so happy that Professor Fuckwitz, PhD, is a regular tuner inner to my shows. Because he has a PhD, that means he's right about everything. And he always tells us the truth. So you don't want to listen to me, you want to listen to Professor Fuckwitz. For your information, Cappy, I paid for the Red Pill 2 income household vid. Yeah, I'm getting to these because I'm going to go for a motorcycle ride this next week, and I'm trying to bang these all out before I get there. Hat and Clogs, $10. Cappy, the boomers have it the hardest. They didn't have Die Hard and Star Wars, unlike you. All they had was Casablanca, Guns of Navarone, The Godfather, and Ben-Hur. Don't forget Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Leave the boomers alone. Yep, those boomers. RJ, $10. That's why I'm okay letting the economy crash, but we keep bailing out the side that keeps doing this. We need better ways to support our own people without benefiting them too. I'll give you a short answer, but I think the future is going to be in being like the Amish. Like it is so much cheaper now. Just build your own house. Why would you work to pay 38 to 45% in taxes, which means you almost got to work 60% more to afford the taxes so that you have enough residual money left over to pay for a house? Instead of you laboring and have the government take 40% of it, why don't you just build your own damn house with the exact same calories of labor and seconds of time with no taxation? I mean, you're going to have to pay for materials. I get it. Yeah, but there's other ways to support your own people without, you can help people out. You could hire locally. You can not buy cars. You can become a minimalist. You can pay for cash, barter. Or not barter. You can pay for cash under the table. I mean, we're not talking shit tons of money, but you can barter. If you really, seriously, I was thinking, runs around in my mind, if we had a home building commune, like there's a home building program where, okay, we're all going to Amish up, and the 12 people involved here, we're going to build 12 houses. May not be the greatest houses, but they're going to be lodging. And we're all going to help each other out. So you got to do the shield, the siding for 12 houses. You got to do the plumbing. But when it's all said and done, we all got houses done. And we didn't have to work to pay for it. I mean, you had to do your manual labor. You're not going to the bank. You're not paying a realtor fee. You're not paying interest. You're not going to college to get a PhD, bro, so I could shit. No, I'm building my house. I'm bypassing all that fucking shit. You really want to help out your own people? Be hot, be sexy, have sex. There. I'm not even saying having kids. Just be good looking, because everybody's doing this so they can go impress somebody of the opposite sex to have sex with. Or girls are going to get attention. I'm aware of the different ulterior aims of men. All right, men are working hard to go have sex. Women are working hard so that they can impress their girlfriends and get the Mr. Big, right? So he'll say hi to you. Why don't y'all just get hot, and then that way your girlfriends will be jealous of you and Mr. Big will want to go out with you. But they don't want to have sex. I know, but you don't have to have sex with them. Oh, good. He'll just give you attention and buy you things. I think that's what girls want nowadays. I'm not too sure. Let us know what you want, girls, and we'll sure to chisel it down in stone this time. But yeah, being more serious, girls, if you actually like your man, be hot. Guys, you like your woman, get in shape. Doesn't cost money, just costs labor. And you'll have a higher standard of living. Surprise. Hat and Clogs, $2. Do you still drink Rooster Boosters, and which flavor? Yeah, but it's Rooster Booster Light, and I haven't gotten a supply airlifted to me in a while. Professor Fuckwitz, $5. If the Aussies are smart, they tax mining and fossil fuels. That stuff needs to stay in the ground. They can make their money on home appreciation. I think they can make their money by just printing it off and having education programs. See, if we have more education programs, you could create jobs by having jobs training to teach future kids to be future job education trainers, right? If we had just a perpetual cycle of teachers teaching future teachers to be teachers, why we're golden, you would never need any of that fossil fuels. And then you say, well, who'd build the houses? You just say the government, and we'd pass laws to mandate free housing. Uber noob, $5. South Korea is an interesting example where the chaebols, family conglomerates, deliberately suppress stock prices to lower inheritance taxes. Are they that much in power still? I remember following them, and they had to go through a reformation back in the 90s. They were up to their eyeballs in debts, very similar and parallel to the Japanese karetsus. Yeah, I haven't paid attention, and gosh, almost 30 years, 25 years it's been since I paid any attention to that. Yeah, I suppose they didn't go away. They're still there. I got an idea. You don't have to worry about what stock prices are if you just have one tax and it's a sales tax, right? But then how will we tax the rich people? Well, you'll tax everyone at the same rate. And what you can do is you can have government give the poor people more money, right? On the collection end, everyone pays the same. But if you're poor, you get more government money. I'm thinking that's a pretty good deal because then we never have to pay income taxes again or go think how many more people the chaebols could employ and how much real production they could produce if they didn't have to spend so much money worrying about capital gains tax. Like, what if the stock price just didn't fucking matter? Huh? What if it didn't matter how much money you made? Because we're all paying the same amount, but we make it an exception. Like, I'd even almost be going so far to have like some like constitutionally limited, anyone who suggests otherwise, like, okay, you get a basic UBI. Would that make you happy? Right? Is that fuck you people. I forgot. You're liberal. Your daddy's little sucking your thumb bitches from down under who mommy and daddy paid for. What's your version of Harvard? Where do all the limp dick people go who couldn't do a damn? Where do all the soft non-callous tan people go in Australia? What's your version of Harvard? Where's your Connecticut? Copy, it's in Massachusetts. I know, but Connecticut's even more pretentious. What's the area that you guys that has like Connecticut where all the guys look like Mitch McConnell, like their sunken chins? They're all hedge fund managers. Did you know, Matt, 2 Canadian capital gains are only 50% here. Save me, Jay. 50%. I can't imagine why Canada has just stagnated in GDP per capita since you guys elected Trudeau Jr. Shadow Ghost, 10 Australian. A lot of Aussies have their business and or multiple houses in the super vehicle due to tax savings. A lot of these were never meant to be sold but passed down. Good look. Oh, okay. So in your superannuation, you can house other things within it. Is that true? It's a kind of a robust and interesting retirement program there. Yeah, you're not going to get to hand anything. Yeah. Hey, but at least the liberal women over there felt good about taking your money and giving it to a bunch of undeservables, right? That's all that. Long as your women are happy and have the warm fuzzies, who cares if the electricity goes out? It always for the greater good. Clem joke, $2. Would this affect investing in the bond market? If you invest in bonds for capital gains, which some people do, most people, especially within a retirement fund, at least here in the United States, are just going for fixed income. They're not concerned about capital gains. They just want the interest income on the bond. But there are bond investors and traders who go for capital gains, and they would have to. And if bonds do go up and down in price, not as much as stocks. So yeah, some people will have some capital gains on bonds if they were to sell it. So it would affect I don't know if it would affect the bond market that much. Because the intention is not for a capital gain. The intention is for interest income. Killer Clowns, $2. Cappy, tell us again why women are most affected. This isn't my expert. Can you find feminists are always great at finding out why they are affected and oppressed most. This is not my forte. I would go find a women's studies professor or maybe just a good journalist. Go and ask them how women are most affected. Hillary Clinton's good at it too, but I don't think she's taking people's calls. They are always most affected because the inflation, your unemployment will go up, your GDP growth will go down. I'm sorry, there will be upward pressure on unemployment and downward pressure on GDP. Your economy is going to shrink, right? Your unemployment's going to go up, and the financial times are going to affect women harder because they have more debt and are more susceptible to swings in unemployment. Is that why they majored in butt-sew weaving? What if they were to major in engineering? Wouldn't they be inoculated against that? Shut up. My truth. The king. Seriously, Cappy, who hurt you so much? Everyone. Right? Like that, that's such a Mean Girls Becky from 1994 type of thing. Why don't you get Winona Ryder to add? Nah, I'm not criticizing you, Truth. But that has aged so poorly now that especially you millennials and Zoomers, who hurt you? Well, everyone kind of did. Everyone lied to me. And it's like, no, you're all wrong. Who hurt you means, why aren't you getting on the bandwagon? Why are you on the sinking ship with us? What's wrong with you that you're not doing what we want? How dare you criticize me and point out my bad behavior, my thieving or whatever? How dare you call me a parasite? Who hurt you? Like everyone did. Everyone that you're on that boat with right now that's sinking, all of you did that. Whether it was lying or I have to get in fights because I didn't have the right clothes or social ostracization because I didn't like the good thing or I didn't. Oh, Minnesota, you got to be a Democrat or they hate you. I vote Republican. Who hurt you? I'm not the one who's got people murdering us in the streets and shitting on our backyards. You know, I'm not the one whose city is thinking we got to increase the local income tax here. But yeah, the answer for most people is most everybody did because most everybody in the West is a lying sack of shit. Nearly every the question would be like, well, who's helped you? I mean, you probably could list that on one hand. Well, who has helped me? Oh, my uncle did. What else? Chris Muir helped me out one time. Right. I can list you hundreds of people just based on those two that helped. There's 100 each who hurt. So, and that's who hurt you? Like, well, everyone did. Like, who? You've never been hurt? No one's hurt you? You're the weirdo. Uber Noob, $5. The UK had tax trouble recently too. They revoked non-dom status, and a bunch of rich people are leaving. I think they said it's a 1 to 45 ratio of tax paid. Yeah, in the United States, like it's like the top 1% pay something like 20% of all taxes. I don't know what non-dom is because I don't have a Latin education, but that's okay. The hey, your women are happy. Remember that girl, the cop that was crying because she got punched in the face? I thought she was shot or she witnessed something absolutely horrific or lost a limb. No, she just got punched in the face. Hey, she's happy, okay? As long as your women are happy, that's all that matters. Did you know, Mad, 2 Canadian, your plan B location asking for a friend? I don't have one. I guess Croatia. I'm so fucking tired just trying to get this. It's done. It's done. But I've had visitors and I want to go ride my motorcycle and take it easy. Probably Croatia, maybe Poland. I don't know. I want to go where there's not crime. I want to go where my credit cards work. I want to go where I can walk out downtown and not have to worry about bringing a gun. Maybe I got to pick up Japanese, although that's a long ass flight. I don't know where that is. I don't know where. And if there's a place I can go, you guys got a recommendation, I'm interested, but I want to go where I'm left the fuck alone. And I don't want groups of people blaming other groups of people for the first group's mistakes, right? I don't know, it's the Jews, it's the whites, it's the males, it's the straights. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear a group of people like, oh, Bob fucked up. And Bob's like, yeah, I fucked up. And if he says, I'm an East Poland guy, like, no, you're a fuck up, Bob, Joe, whatever his name was, I said. And society doesn't talk. Society's like, oh my God, did we East Polanders do that to you, West Side Bob? Oh my God, we're so sorry. I want to go where the women don't purposely vote to enslave their men. That's basically where I want to go. I want to go to a country where the women like their country, right? They have patriotic pride. That's where I want to go. They're not selling their country out like the like the black slave traders in Africa sold out warring tribes, right? That's essentially what they're doing. I want to go to where those people aren't. Real $5. Hey, congrats on the new channel. When does Clary explains the world through Dragon Ball Z formally launch? I did that for a little fun. Toasty Pasty, $2. Isn't the Amazon link a bid for free money? It's not. One, I got to promote it. Two, I'm technically providing Amazon a service of free advertising. And even you have to pay a price, though it is not money. You have to shop a slightly less convenient way of doing Amazon shopping than just grabbing your phony phone and firing up your app. Like there's no costless. It's just like the laws of physics. There's no energy or mass that's created for free. It doesn't happen. Same thing with economics. What you are paying, the price you pay is the second or two it takes for you to use your computer, go to assholeconsulting.com/Amazon, and to remember to do all your Amazon shopping there. That's the price you got to pay. You do not pay a financial price. It's the same price. Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Bezos pay me for me promoting it through the 5% commissioner cut I get on your purchases, which I think is very fair. It's very nice of them. They don't have to do that, but I wouldn't advertise if they didn't. And then I get the 5% commission and cut for promoting that service or their website. So it's not, there's no such thing as free. There really isn't. But you guys don't pay anything extra. Like here's where it's free. If you want to donate, but you don't have the money, this is a way for you to donate because you were going to, like, it's in your budget to afford whatever food on Amazon. You were going to buy this anyway, but it's not going to cost you money. It does take 5 seconds extra of time and getting into the habit of going to your computer and not the phone. But it's about the closest thing to free money, right? As a guy can get anyway. I think there was one gal that did buy me dinner. I think I should have remembered that. All right, that's it. Link below. I have several resources. Pull them up so I don't forget. We have Zero World Problems, Standards of Living in a Post-Materialist Economy. Please consider getting that one so you don't have to worry about unrealized capital gains. And then what else we got? Amazon affiliate link, and there was something else. That's good enough. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.